Hello to my clone. She's a bit more OG than I am.
All right, the informant back in the building. So that clip I just played was from Selena Gomez back in 2011 at an MTV award show, right? And she was playing around and saying that the version of her that we were looking at on the screen was a clone, and she introduced it, right? At the time, no one thought anything about it. But when we jump years later and look at Selena Gomez now, it kind of don't look like her. It don't sound like her.
That is not something I do
Yeah.
often. I will say.
Now, a lot of people will say that maybe it's because she done took her fame to another level and she got some media training, so it just seems like she's different. But this goes a little deeper than that, right? And before I made this video, I went and did some research on TikTok to see what the people were talking about. And it's a lot of creators pointing out some of the same things.
That's not Selena. Who is in there right now? I feel like I can like almost pinpoint who's in there. Now,
So part two as to why people think Selena Gomez is no longer alive. So apparently Selena Gomez's name is in the Epstein files.
So as y'all can see, that's what a lot of people on TikTok are saying. She looks replaced, or that infamous word, cloned, right? Now, I don't think they're talking about she looks cloned as far as being in a lab on some science fiction type of situation, but being cloned as in just something is off, especially if you follow her career and know her personality. From the clips I used to see of her, she was very vibrant, young, and fun, right? That's the type of energy, like Justin Bieber type of vibe, kid friendly. But now, even the way she smiles, the way she talks, even her mannerisms, she seemed like she barely moves her hands when she's talking. It just seems different. And I'm not accusing her of anything, right? Maybe she got some work done on her face. Maybe she got some injections done in her cheekbones or something that didn't go right, because maybe she wasn't even cloned. Maybe it's the other thing, right? The MK situation. Because we've seen this time and time again where we see a lot of these celebrities out in public and it looks like their minds are just in a completely different place. Now, she don't seem too off in that sense, but we never know the possibility, because this just seems like a totally different person, right? Especially if you look at the first clip I played when she was on stage. She was smiling and she was having fun. It almost looked like we jumped 25 years ahead, the version that we're getting of Selena Gomez right now. And ironically, she referenced her clone as being the OG version of her, which basically lines up what I just said. It seems like this Selena Gomez that we're seeing now is like an older person version of her. Now, maybe she even went through some life changes. Maybe she had a child. I don't know. But I can't really put my finger on it. But it's very similar to Ariana Grande's situation. When you see Ariana Grande, she don't look like what she used to look like just 5 years ago, or maybe even 3 years ago. I don't know if the way she looks now was just for a movie role, but only thing that seems the same about her is her voice. When she talks, she actually sounds the same. But even Ariana Grande said something about memory erasers before.
They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure, you know?
During an interview. So it shows you that these things that we talk about online, they are aware of it. And I don't think these things that we talk about is just coming out of thin air, because there's been so many different patterns of artists after they get out of the industry exposing certain situations and certain practices. Now, how many times have we heard a certain celebrity has been cloned? Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because people just randomly want to make these stories up, or they actually were interested in these people and then notice that when there's a major catastrophe in their life and they take a hiatus and come back, they seem like a totally different person? Especially in Jamie Foxx's case. He was one of the people that really started this clone thing off. He got sick during the pandemic, then disappeared and showed up without his infamous head tattoo. Now, I know a lot of people will say, like, yo, if it was really a clone and they wanted him to look the same, it's no big deal to hit him with the same tattoo. And I get that. That's very true. Why wouldn't they just give him the same tattoo? But maybe they're trying to make it obvious. Maybe they're trying to bring these conversations up. Maybe that's the reason why Selena Gomez back in 2011 said what she said about her being a clone, or she have a clone version of herself.
Hello to my clone. She's a bit more OG than I am.
Because this is what we always talk about, predictive programming. They throw certain things in the air, so whenever it does happen, you're not caught off guard or shocked. And now this little example right here is very, very different, but just hear me out. That's why they talk about aliens so much. They show us so many alien TV shows, movies. They're getting your mind ready for whatever possibilities of what an alien that they probably had contact with and know exactly what it looks like. They're getting your brain and your visuals ready for when you see some shit. You don't just pass out or have a heart attack because you've been predictive programmed so much that when you actually see these things, you're surprised, but it doesn't shock you to the point to where you're incapacitated. Even in the movies, the most recent one that we saw was Gemini Man with Will Smith, when they had a younger trained killer trying to kill the best killer, which was Will Smith. And when he finally caught up with himself and he realized that he was cloned, it was just wild. And then the movie The Island, they show you this. But in The Island, it was a little different. In The Island, they were harvesting the clones for different body parts that the real version of themselves needed because they had some type of illness. It's crazy. That's besides the point. These people put these things out there. So when people start making videos about this one being cloned and that one being cloned, how could you even get mad at them? Because the information is coming from a higher source. We're getting little bits of information almost shaping the narrative to even get us to have these type of conversations. This is how they get us to talk about clones. This is how we are being predictive programmed. Now, let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think Selena Gomez look that much different? Are we reaching? Is her mannerisms the same? Do she talk the same? Does it look like her mouth is moving when she's talking? Now, I'm not saying she's a clone. I'm just saying something seems a little different. The Informant, I'm out.